Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Monday, September 30th, 2024, and today's topic is sketching the torso front view. Now, I've done other videos about this, but I'll do another one. And this is from a request that one of you left in the comments, and so yeah, feel free to request or suggest a video and I'll keep that in mind. And I'll post a link to like the back view from previously, but it's good to go over this stuff again anyway. I'll start a 5-minute timer. So yeah, let's put down a few vertical lines. Like, start with 4 of them. So we're just going to focus on the torso area here. So this top line will be the collarbone. And for this first one, let's make it equal, like about equal in width. But let's play around with the proportions with these other ones. So like this one could be like this, and like a little bit wider, and then go the other way here. Like wider up here. And then what if we made this one like just both? Again, play around with that. And from here, let's find the midpoint. And I might do some different proportions here just to see what happens. But this will be like our standard here. So if this is the middle, there's different ways to approach it. I like this thing where I connect this side with that side. So this is using triangles. I'll get a different pen. I hang on to these for shading before they run out. So this would be using triangles. And so we'll go over different shapes. I'm just going to fill this whole page with different examples. And basically this part is like you can adjust the width. And so this is the collarbone. And this is the widest part of the hips right here. So I just call it the hips. And if you divide, so this would be like the top half. And this would be like the bottom half of the torso. And if you divide this top half, find the midpoint there, that's basically, so one thing that I mentioned was that for October, because it's spooky, I'm gonna focus on skeletons. Because skeletons are so spooky. So this would be the sternum. That's basically, it's a simplified version of it. And so that means the ribs. So I like doing these top and bottom lines here because you know that the ribs are going to be within that area. So for example, like it'll be within there. So that's basically the ribs. That's the other side there. So just skeleton wise, that's what's going on. And then the collarbone right here, the clavicle. So that's what's happening. And then the neck, or the spinal column. And so I said that this was the widest part. So that means if you divide like this bottom, that's 5 minutes. Let's start another one. If you divide the bottom half, then that's basically the hip bone, the pelvis. And so that's why you get this kind of shape. So with that in mind, like that's the basic skeletal structure. Let's go over here and again find the middle, and then you got that one and that one. So that's thirds basically, I think. Yeah, like something like that. That's how you get thirds. But instead of drawing all of the skeletal structure, you can think of it like the muscular anatomy. So again, you know that the ribs will be within that because of the collarbone here. And so that would also be like the pectorals. And then we made these really wide. And so if you go like this, and then this part can be adjusted. So it can go now. That's just looks kind of exaggerated, but that's more of a female hips. But if you wanted to make it more female-like, you might taper this in a little bit more. And then if you do the triangle, like if this were the midpoint, let's see, actually just go like that. That's one way to make it more feminine. So obviously the skeletal structure, the proportions do matter. So from here, let's see what we can come up with. You can just do a triangle like that. And then kind of give it the ribs. You can even go like this, and then like this would be the sides of the abdominals. Kind of like that. What if you adjusted the, like this midpoint? You could have it be lower. I mean, I don't know. That's 5 minutes. Start another one. Yeah, you could go like that. And just kind of connect the dots here. Something to play around with. So this is kind of a good way to just experiment. You can put just put a top and a bottom line here, and just adjust this. See what happens. Like give it different shapes. So in this next row, I'll go over maybe like okay. So to start putting it in perspective, basically the same idea, but let's do it to where there's not like a ton of perspective, but it's like 3/4. So to do that, you still have that top and bottom line, and then the center, and then like the midpoint, and then find this. That's like the sternum, and it's gonna come out, and then the collarbone or the clavicle is a circle, which is why we call it a collar. And then the spine, or like the neck, it just comes out like at an angle. And the curvature of the spine is like this, which is what the ribs are doing. Like this, like there's a curve, that's your back. And then the lower back, right here. So that's the skeletal structure. Then again, this midpoint, that can have different looks, like we were saying. And then here, so in some other videos that I posted, I said that usually I'll just do like a circular form because of the hips or the pelvis. Like that. So that's the simplified skeletal structure. Let's do that again, but now think about like the muscles. So again, just find this where the sternum is basically. However, there's going to be abdominals. So that's the sternum, and so that's why again I usually do like a circle or an ellipse right here for that top part. And then this part will look different depending on the muscles. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's what's happening with the muscles and the skeleton. This is the basic contour. And so just play around with like how these lines right here. That's 5 minutes. I'll start another one. Like your initial proportions, like see, I'm just going off of that. So again, like that's the side. You could turn it. So this is sort of my shortcut for it. Like I'll just put circles. Like if that's the middle, it just depends on the shape. We'll attach some arms. So, yeah, and just pick a lighting scheme, like simple. Yeah, you can just come up with a lot just by like playing around. Like if you make it more circular, then you turn it more. I guess we could play around with like how to draw the female torso here. You can actually get away with like having this be equal, and then as you draw it, I mean, unless you really want to exaggerate, which sometimes it's exaggerated. But that's more of a skeletal structure. Like the skeleton of humans aren't really that different. But let's say you're drawing like a creature. But like right here, so if that's like the sternum, then the bosom area can have different shapes. But one thing is, for like the shoulders, I usually will do like circles, and they should be a little bit under the collarbone here. because when you go into, and then I kind of use this as like indicators of the deltoid, because if you draw around it, you pretty much have like the deltoid right there. And so for the purposes of YouTube, I shall shade that. So the navel is a little bit lower on a woman. And again, this middle area can fluctuate. And then the hips are right here. And this all looks different. Now to attach the arms and the legs, there probably needs its own video. I mean, I've just check out the figure drawing, it's all in there, but again, it does take practice. How about like some movement? Well, I'll rotate this figure right here. That's another 5 minutes. And I'll start another one. I think we're about 20 minutes in. So let's rotate that a little bit more. So like I said, just I like to start with like this right here. And that kind of gives me, that basically gives me like the side right there. And then this is like that's that sternum area, that's the ribs, and like this portion looks different. And the chest kind of comes out like that. And then the neck comes out at an angle. So these are the basics, and then you can look up some reference and see like how it works. But just based off of like the skeleton and like the forms, there's all sorts of variations. So to finish up this video, I'll kind of talk about like how to attach. I'll do one more right here where it's like a little bit more turned. Can you see that? And then, like I said, I'll put a link to the back view, but so this is still kind of a front view. Well, I guess the next one would be like a side view. I can do a side view. Like that. Again, this top part here. Pretty simple. just real quick to finish out the video, I will kind of talk about how to attach the arms and legs. So set up like the proportion here. Something real quick. I mean, just there's different levels of how precise you want to be. But like I said, I like to put the shoulder joints here a little bit underneath because there's like a bump right there. And for the head, to attach the neck, I like to just do like a cylinder, but then the trapezius looks different on everyone. And then the muscles look kind of like they come out at an angle like that. So that's how to put the shoulders on there. And then as far as like the legs, so this is the widest part right here. That's 5 minutes, and I'll set another 5-minute timer and then wrap this up. So this is basically the outside of the leg bone. I believe the technical term is the trochanter, but I really don't like to go into like the anatomical names, because sometimes you don't really need to know that, but that's what's going on there. So if like the person is like, if you just go like this, that's what's going on there. So if you do that again, like if you go like this, that's like kind of the outer edge of the leg, basically. Like that's what that's showing. So hopefully that helped you out. And before I sign off, thanks for joining me today and for supporting the channel. And until next time, keep on sketching.